Shalom, all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yehoshai, Bahashem, Charakah, Kodash, giving double honors to all the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Salutes to all the sincere Okim out there. All right, back at you with another lesson out here. So walk and talk, man. Perfect weather right now. Not too hot. The little bit of heat we got the breeze as well to back it up. So we're just gonna be out here hastening the day. Doesn't matter how nice the weather is, we're still here in Babylon. Mother of Babylon over there. You got Babylon over there in America, but this is Babylon, man. So we don't like this place, man. We want this place to get burned up. Just like Sodom and Gomorrah. So I want to look up a word right here. So this video is going to be about hastening. The word hastening meaning. Hastening meaning.
This is the definition of hasten. Be quick to do something.
Yeah. So we're being quick, man. We want to be hastening ourselves to get out of this bitch. We're hastening this destruction of Babylon. Yeah. So we're asking Yahweh Shemeshah. That's why we say the Lord's Prayer. Every day, more or less every day, we say the Lord's Prayer. And if you can say it in the Hebrew, that's even better. The power in the Hebrew, you know. Abanawa Shabashamayam Kodash Hayasham Ka, right? This place, or in the English, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. So we want him to come back, Yahweh to come back. We're hastening the destruction of this place. We want what is going on in heaven right now to be also down here on earth. We want that peace. I went into the word peace yesterday. To be free from disturbance, free from war. Tranquility, utter tranquility. You know, just let me let that one marinate while I look at the view. And this is what's going to be in the you got this sun right now. It's beautiful though, you know. But I'm getting Abaratazar killing multiple birds with one stone. You know, Abaratazar, the little exercise I'm getting, and the vitamin D at the same time, and doing this Abaratazar edifying video. So hastening. The word hastening. You know, hastening to be quick to do something. We want to be free from war. We want to be in peace, right? Under the Prince of Power, Yehoshai, the Prince of Peace, the Prince of Power. Isaiah 6 and 9 or 9 and 6. We're ushering Yehoshai to come back, man, right? So to hasten to refute the assertion. Yeah, move or travel hurriedly. Hasten. Call something, especially something desirable to happen. Not undesirable, but desirable. In our case, it's desirable to happen sooner than it otherwise would. Right. So we're hastening, especially something desirable. Here it says undesirable. Right. But desirable. Right. Call something, especially something desirable to happen, right? The destruction of Babylon and the mother of Babylon, just like what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah and all those cities. And it's just going to be just like Sodom and Gomorrah, and then other 3 cities, altogether the 5 cities. Sodom, Gomorrah, Zeboim, Abna, and Zoar. Those 3 wicked cities. What the Most High destroyed with fire. You know what I mean? Fire and brimstone. And it's just there now left there over there in the east, the Red Sea left there, so called, as a memorial for all to see to what happens to a wicked, immoral city or cities, 5 cities. So that's what this place is going to be like. Babylon, the mother of Babylon, going to be shooken up over here, going to be shooken up, rocked. The whole earth going to rock. And over there in Babylon, it's going to be just a wasteland, just as a memorial also, for people to see and reflect on what happens to a city, an immoral city, when people don't stick to the laws of Yahweh Shemeshah, obey his laws, statutes, and his commandments. That's what's going to be a memorial, just like Sodom and Gomorrah. So those I went into it, done a little sit down on those 5 cities. You got Sodom. Sodom means burn. Gomorrah means submergent, if I can remember correctly. Submergent. Ebohim, red earth, or is it yeah, Ebohim, red earth, and Zoar, insignificant. Ebohim is gazelles, Zoar, insignificant. The meaning of the cities, let me go back to the scripture just to reflect my memory. All this is getting my creative juices going in, moving, getting into these words. Yeah, the sit down I did. So yeah, Genesis chapters 19 and reflect my memory, remind me. Genesis 19 and 24 says, the Lord, then the Lord rained upon Sodom and Gomorrah and hailstones and fire from the out of heaven. Right, those cities, a way of reminder. Sodom, it means burning. Gomorrah, submerge. Abna, meaning red earth. Zeboim, gazelles. All that running, they must have been running like gazelles. Zoar, insignificant. Just to get my mind around that. Zoar, insignificant, is where Lot fled. And as the brother was going in, and I did fact check it, the name Lot means protecting or covering, which means protection. Lot, when you get into the name. So he fled to Zoar, at a certain part where all of the cities were destroyed, but there's a certain part of Zoar where obviously the Most High covered him, protected him. Hence the name, the meaning of his name, covering. So that's what we're hastening, man. You know, we're hastening that. As a matter of fact, let me hit the precept to get the ball rolling. Second Peter 3 and 12 says, looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved. Right, so hastening. Let me look at that word. I looked at it. Let me go back to it again. Hastening. Now I ask for the hastening, give example. Let me say it again. Hastening, give an example. Yeah, hastening describes the act of moving or progressing quickly. Right, there you go. So that's what we're doing. We're hastening, man. We're hastening. Hence, we continue to keep fighting, man. And this is a spiritual fight. You understand? Satan doesn't want you to be hastening, to be in the haste, as far as in the spiritual war, right? Putting on your suit of armor, which is doing this work, man. Right? I went into the word virtue yesterday, man. Cultivating all those virtuous qualities, right? The top on the top is getting, because we're goal is ultimately to be like Yahushua, Yahushua. So we cultivate virtue that brings us closer to being more like Yahushua, right? Being submerged, hastening, submerged in the scriptures, man. Reading, meditating, Abarazar, writing more, praying more, right? That's the as the elder Apostle Rakabi talking about that. Keeping our medicine strong, being absorbed in the spirit, right? The suit of armor. Ephesians chapters 6 from around 12. Putting on the suit of armor, the helmet, the sword, the shield, and keeping our feet moving, which is the word hastening. Hastening, right? Busy and hastening in the word, being occupied in the word of Yahushua. And that's you doing that. You submerge yourself in the suits, that suit of armor. So it's such a nice day today, man. Let me take time and reflect. Right? So we're still over here in the mother of Babylon, where it's a wicked place. But that's what we're hastening, to see the end of this place. Yeah, the act of moving or progressing quickly, yeah, or the acceleration of a process, right? Hence why I keep saying about the Lord's Prayer and keeping our medicine strong, to accelerate the process of this kingdom being burned up, right? The example, here's an example here. Hasten to catch the bus. If you hasten somewhere, you go there quickly, right? Reporters hasten from the press conference to call their editors. Some examples there. So there's the point, man. And we could relate, some of us may be able to relate to that one there. Hastening to catch the bus. We're hastening to catch Yahushua for Yahushua's return, to come and quickly and submerge this place in fire and brimstone. You know what I mean? Just like those 5 cities, man. Right? And we want to be Abba Ratazar, protected just like Lot. Hence we put on the suit of armor to receive that protection. Right? And it's going to be protection from the intercontinental ballistic missiles, not forgetting the chariots, the lasers of the chariots, and in the midst of all of that, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, the WW3, which is going to be that last one, and in the midst of all of that, Yahushua returning. So we're hastening for that. Let's get back to the scriptures, right? Hastening as if what? An act of moving or progressing quickly, or the acceleration of a process or event. The event is the grand finale's return. That's the event. So the Wadi Yahweh Shemashah Abba Ratazar, yeah, we going to be protected like Lot, and the meaning of his name, protected by the hand of Yahweh Yahushua. You know what I mean? Covering. The meaning of Lot's name, covering. So we're going to close out with a couple of precepts. 2 Corinthians 4. Right, you know, we brothers, we got a little thing we got going on, the thorns in the flesh. Right, so for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory, man. Right, gonna be nothing to be compared to what we're going to receive. Abba Ratazar, right? Cultivating those qualities now, virtue, right? Which ultimately, there's every now and then we get thrown a bone, right? From Yahweh Yahushua, right? Despite, yes, we're in this sinful body, this sinful flesh, chains of darkness, and still oppressed under the yoke of the wicked, our enemies. Yeah, for our light affliction is a light affliction compared to what we're going to get. The Most High is about balance, right? The Most High is about balance. Balance is an unrighteous balance is an abomination to the Most High, but a righteous balance, a just weight, is righteous. So it's not going to compare. For our light affliction, which is but for, and it's only for a moment, considering that the 1,000 years to the Most High, 1,000 years to us is 1 day to the Most High. So it doesn't, it ain't gonna compare what we're gonna get, right? It's but for a moment, for our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. It's gonna be outweighed by the glory what we're suffering now, those fools in the flesh, right? And being afflicted and oppressed by our enemy, which is, that word comes up, bitter, right? Bitter. Let me go back on that again. I was talking about it a lot recently. Bitter meaning, we're gonna find out. Bitter meaning.
Here's the definition of bitter: having a sharp, pungent taste or smell, not sweet.
So that being under these the enemy, the Goyim nations and the E nations, is like having a sharp, pungent taste or smell, right? The opposite to sweet, right? So that's what it's like, man, being afflicted by enemies, man. It's horrible. It's sharp. It's bitter. Was there any more here? 2, feeling or showing anger, hurt, or resentment because of the bad experiences or a sense of unjust treatment. Boy, yeah, said it spot on right there. Google spot on. Because of bad experiences or a sense of unjust treatment, right. So that's what it does. You know, it's horrible, man. Feeling of showing anger, hurt. But yeah. Hence why we're going to continue to hasten. We want to be out of that. We want to be out of that. You know what I mean? That experience, what we're experiencing right now, right? That bad experiences, unjust treatment, yeah? Beer that is strongly, oh, there's another one here. Yeah, bitter taste, right? Beer that is strongly flavored with hops and has a bitter taste, right? That's giving an example of the beer and the alcohol, but there you go. That's the point though, right? We want to be from under that, right? That hurt, the unjust treatment of these our enemies and all these other Goyim nations. And it seems like a long time, but according to the precept we just looked at, because it does feel like a long time, because we're in these bodies and this flesh, and we feel it, man. Yeah, for a light affliction which is but for a moment, but it's only but for a moment. And when we look back, we're going to say, Kala Yahbashim Yeshua is going to be like just like a quick nightmare. It's going to be just like a nightmare. It seems like a long time, but it's just going to be like a nightmare. Only but for a moment. Right, man. The water Yahbashim Yeshua. So we're hastening the day. Hastening the day, right? Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh's return, Yahushua, Yahushua. And he's here via his angels, his presence, the Holy Spirit. And things are moving. We see what's going on with Trump right now. As the elder Apostle Tahar made mention of him, a paper dragon, which meaning he doesn't have a backbone as far as dealing with the Elam. It's either Elam or Moab, both supposedly the Chinese sanctions that have been put on, and he's backpedaling with it, right? Which when you go into the word paper dragon, is someone who's showing hesitancy and having no backbone, no strength. But Abu Razar, we'll get more into that in the future, right? Because these are all signs that Yahushua's presence is here, right? Yahushua's presence is here. The prophecies are popping off like popcorn. The angels are moving in the spirit of the Lord, man. Right? The angels, the wa alahayam, the angels, the powers are moving, man. Hence why we see them, and we're going to start to see them more as time goes on, as we know, until that final grand finale where Yahushua returns. Right? Yahweh returns. Yahweh Sabaoth in the Hebrew. Yahweh Sabaoth, or Yahweh and his host of armies, right? Which he is a God of war. Exodus chapters 3 and 15, or 15 and 3, the God of war. Yahweh Sabaoth, host of armies. He's going. That's what we're hastening, man. Looking for and hastening unto the coming of the day of Yahweh, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. It's going to melt up, burn up, just like Sodom and Gomorrah and those other 3 cities, all those 5 cities all together. Kala Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakah Padash. Right, the point is done, made, man. We're just going to continue to keep on hastening, Akim. Hastening for Yahushua's return. For that, all those wicked, right? So let me end off one more, because this is what we're meditating on right now today. The meditation of today's video is meditating and praying for all those, just like Sodom and Gomorrah, to be destroyed, and them other 3 cities, 5 altogether, to be destroyed like fire and brimstone. We're hastening for Yahushua's return to come back and do exactly the same. It's going to be much worse, as a matter of fact. Isaiah 1 and 6 says, from the sole of the foot, no, that's not the one. Go down a bit more. Yeah. Isaiah 1 and 9 says, except the Lord of hosts, Yahweh, Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts, that's his name in the Hebrew. Yeah, Yahweh Sabaoth, host of armies, except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Yes. So we went into the meaning of the word. Sodom means burning, and Gomorrah means submersion. So yet, it's going to be submerged. This kingdom, which is like unto Sodom and Gomorrah, is going to be submerged. Right? And people going to be running just like gazelle and all those how they fled, right, to Zoar, right? And Lot was protected, covered. The meaning of his name, covered. Abarazar, we get to be covered also, right? When Yahushua return and he destroys this place, like Sodom and Gomorrah, ultimately all those cities be burned up, right? Destroyed by fire, right? Intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's what we're hastening today. Kala Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Rakah Kodash. And we're going to keep on meditating on that, hastening that. Yeah, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushua Ba'Hashem Rakah Kodash. Shalom to all the sincere. Akim out there until the next one. We're going to continue to keep hastening the destruction of this place. And we know it's not far now. Shalom till the next one.